either sell a product or try to grow on a platform based on your content pillars. But with YouTube, all your content pillars can be within one YouTube video. You can sell on YouTube, you can grow, you can talk about motivation because it is long form.
We kind of spoke about it yesterday, right? Like YouTube is the new TV.
If you can set your child up for success and they never have to work a day in their life based off what you've created at a young age, I mean, why the hell not?
Why would you be the brand ambassador? Like you're killing yourself. The best part about this podcast right here, if you are a creator or you're trying to do anything in the social media space, bro, we have all perspectives covered here. Yo, welcome to the No Days Offline podcast with Niko and T. So some of the things we want to talk about this week. We want to talk about, becoming a CEO of your own brand.
Absolutely.
And how some of these big creators have become the gatekeeper to the game. Even their social media platforms are kind of coming to them to make the bread. You know what I mean? Like, I think long is gone the game of brands trying to use their own image and their own brand to kind of sell a product. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When you got top people like, the Kai Cenats, the Alex Earls, the Ashton Halls now, and that Saratoga deal that's going on. Mm-hmm. Even in the fitness game, guys like Alex Eubanks.
All the YoungLA's athletes.
Yeah.
They get paid, bro.
It's like people don't fall in love with a brand for what the brand represents anymore. I mean, when you got certain brands, right, that create that. So like a Darksport.
ASRV and Darksport.
Yeah.
ASRV more so than Darksport.
Exactly.
ASRV is literally they don't need one influencer, bro.
Bro.
That's how
it's crazy.
Yeah, they don't need ambassadors. They don't need none of that. There's like one of those brands where it's like, when you get, it's like next to Nike to me. In my personal opinion, it's like I think ASRV when it comes to the fitness industry, ASRV is the Nike of the fitness industry, and I would agree. They're in their own lane of their own, and they don't need. They're probably one of the fitness companies that don't, but majority of them are based off of the influence of their creators and of their influencers. And that's how I feel like they generate a lot of their money. Obviously ads too. Yeah. But to build that cult-like following and that cult-like community for their brands, it is 100% based off the influencers that promote each brand.
Absolutely. Because I mean, like you said, I think ASRV is like a perfect example of a brand doing their own thing, right? Like they really dug deep, and that's that organic grind.
Yeah.
And that's what made them different.
They tell stories, bro.
Exactly. And then a brand like Darksport, like the bodybuilding world, they came up grinding through that.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, YoungLA, they started on Amazon.
I didn't even know that.
I believe.
I didn't even know that.
I believe they started on Amazon. And then they picked up Chris Bumstead and all that, and they kind of started gaining traction. But even a brand like that, people flock to them because of the influencers. They've got some of the top fitness influencers in the game. Mm-hmm. So it's hard for them to not make money, right?
Right.
Because at that point, you're not falling in love with the brand. You fall in love with the story of a person.
Right.
Or even in most cases now, the image of a person.
Right.
The brand of a person.
Right.
So when you got these big names that are kind of cornerstoning the market, we could talk about things like, Instagram limited engagement because of it. What do you think about that?
I think Instagram is they're just making business moves, bro.
Yeah.
They know that they control the market. They know that a lot of people are on Instagram. That's like Instagram is like everybody's true business card. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think Instagram knows that. Yeah. And so they know that they can limit people's reach on that because it's a pay to play. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you're a business, just like you said earlier, we talked about, they know that businesses are making more money off of influencers than just the actual platform. Yep. That they're like, okay, bet we're not going to push engagement no more because these influencers are bringing, especially if you're a business. This is why here's a little free game. Don't ever put if you're not an actual business, if you're an influencer, make sure your account is a creator account, not a business account. Yes. Because they'll push you more. If you're a business account, they know that, and now they want you to pay to play. Mm-hmm. So now they know that you're a business, that you have to pay to play. So by utilizing, these different influencers, it makes it easy to build a brand off them, and makes it really a lot easier to build a culture, bro.
And I mean, it's a simple game, right? What you put in is what you get out.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, like, I don't knock anybody for running ads. I mean,
no, ads is the only way you scale.
Yeah.
You can have all the influencers in the world. Mm-hmm. If you don't know how to run ads, you can never scale to like what YoungLA does, what Darksport does. I mean, Darksport makes a lot of money, and hell, ASRV, they run amazing ads too. You know what I mean? But any big business, they need ads. But for that community aspect, and that like togetherness, you need the influencer.
Absolutely.
You need the influencer.
I think they kind of push this level of exclusivity, and I think it's evident even when you look at the Meta Verified.
Yeah.
It used to be free.
Yeah. Yeah.
You needed like over 7K followers or something
articles.
to really.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like it used to be free. Mm-hmm. But now they cornered that market because they got to make their dollar.
Absolutely.
I mean, especially being acquired by Facebook and all this, like the up cost for running this business.
Right.
Just scaled, right?
Right.
So we got to bring the money back in.
Right.
We need to run the ads. We need to have revenue coming in because the creators are almost stealing from the platform.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing, really, like from the creative aspect. Unless you've already made it there, like the guys we mentioned before, the Kai Cenats and all that, bro, it's hard. And that's why, a lot of people even use TikTok to drive the audience from TikTok to their Instagram.
Oh, it's a funnel.
Yeah, and that's something you've even told me.
Yeah, TikTok is a funnel. TikTok is a funnel. TikTok allows you can post as many times as you want. It's not like every time you post, you're going into the algorithm and you're seeing new faces every single time. Whether they stick is all dependent on the content, hooks, all that stuff. But it's allowing, I like TikTok because it's pushing you into a platform where you can actually get some eyes. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then based on the eyes that you get, that's where like, okay, bet we'll push it out or not. And if you have a strategy, if you understand how it works and you have content that is work, you can repurpose that content over and over and over again. And it'll just keep going and go. And then you funnel that to either your YouTube. I think people should funnel all of their content to YouTube.
I would agree.
Everybody should funnel all their content to YouTube.
I would agree.
I feel like if you are a content creator, a brand owner, a business owner, a influencer, every single person needs to funnel all of their, from all platforms, all the way to YouTube. Because at the end of the day, people are going to sit and watch YouTube, and it allows you to sell on YouTube. It allows you to show who you are, tell your story, because it's long form content. So you can actually implement all these strategies into one video. Yeah. Rather than short form where you have a minute, 2 minutes to sell a product or either sell a product or try to grow on a platform based on your content pillars. But with YouTube, all your content pillars can be within one YouTube video. You can sell on YouTube, you can grow, you can talk about motivation because it is long form. And the community that you build around it, that builds a true community, because the people that watch your YouTube, especially the ones that sit and watch the whole video, that is your community.
Well, you make more money on YouTube.
Absolutely.
I think that's bottom line.
Right? Bottom line. I
think TikTok really changed the game when, I'll say, the virality of TikTok Shop. It's easier access to brands, right? Because really, there's no real cost to the brands. No.
90% of the people that they're getting their stuff for free.
Yeah, but when you look at YouTube, like, you get paid to be a creator. And if that's your end goal, like if you're trying to do, cinematography, if you're trying to tell a story, if you're really trying to create this connection with your community to where you're almost like, they're thinking every day like, yo, what's T and Niko up to? Right. You know what I mean? Right. They'll be on there every day. You get paid for play.
Yeah, bro.
You get paid for play, and I think that's easy.
I like YouTube a lot. It's one of those things that like I've been wanting to just like really, really, really do. I don't know what's held me back. You know what I mean? I think it's like short form is so easy to create a video because it's like boom, 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 cut, done. Long form, now you have to maintain someone's attention throughout a whole video. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's so funny because you can go with it at two different ways. You go with it at the way where, okay, I'm trying to maintain someone's attention. That's my goal. Or I'm just trying to be my authentic self. And I don't have to like try to do like tricks and the third to try to keep your attention. And you know I think that's it. Yep. So I think attacking it from that point, which I'm going to start doing, is just attacking and just speaking my mind on YouTube and just talking rather than trying to think of some like crazy strategy to try to like maintain people's attention. I think that's the best way to go.
I would agree. I think when you look at these three platforms, right? Because I think we could all agree these are the three main platforms right now as far as social media.
TikTok,
right?
Instagram, and YouTube, right? Agreed. A lot of people on X, bro. Twitter.
They are, but I feel like that's like so we'll throw all four in there, right? I think X is just like, that's off the wall. Like,
yeah, bro. It's very unfiltered.
Yeah, that's super unfiltered, right? Yeah. Then you got TikTok, where it's easy to just be yourself. Because I feel like the people that thrive on TikTok, they're being their authentic self, and they're kind of just like, it's like front camera, talk, don't care about the quality. Agreed. Be funny, show me your life.
Show your personality,
like that, right?
It's more your personality.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily just a platform in itself.
Yeah.
I think if you really pay attention, the people that are winning is the people that actually show up as their true selves.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter what platform it is.
Absolutely.
Because like if you really think about it, you talked about Kai, right?
Yeah.
He streams all the time, but he's not necessarily a TikToker.
No.
Right? He's known for streaming, but
Yeah.
look at the numbers that he's pushing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And look at speed.
He clip
Yeah.
farming. Clip farming, bro.
So
Yeah, they have people clipping for them. I can't really say who the originator of clip farming is, but that is a clip farm is basically some type of theme page. It's literally you're just taking clips. That's why the long form content is solid, because you have so much content that you can clip and create different styles of content from one single video and from one stream. So just like you said, Kai Cenat, I think that's the way to go too, especially for the youth, man. Streaming is just like, streaming is next level, bro. The first time I started streaming, my mentality, I was like, yo, like, what am I gonna get here and do and say? Like, I don't know. I'm like, hop on streaming, like, no, like, who wants to just sit, sit here and watch? Yeah, watch me. But then you realize, like, people just like, it's reality TV. It's actually real TV because it's someone's life. And you just kind of just conversate and talk. And like, once I started like streaming, I get people on my streams, I was like, wow, this is kind of crazy. I'm like, this actually works. And I can see, I wish I had this back in my day. I wish I had this back in my day, make me feel old. Because if I had streamed back in my day, man, shit.
Yeah, and that's what kind of pushes like the conversation about YouTube, right? It's like, I think people have the difficulty breaking into YouTube because it seems like so much more of a professional aspect.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you got big brands and big creators on there with huge budgets and stupid levels of production, right?
Yeah, I mean the quality of their camera setups.
Yeah,
and people, it's intimidating to a lot of people.
It's hard to keep up because you
I
can't
mean,
do
the level of entry when it comes to, for example, YouTube, right, or any of the social media platforms. Sure, they're free.
Yeah.
However, for example, something that YouTube did now a couple of years back is they raised the bar where now you need to qualify to be able to get monetized.
Yeah. Love it though.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Because it just weeded out everybody that's not serious about it.
Right.
It sounds all fucking fun and the money and the luxury and all of that shit, but the back end, it took Mr. Beast 7 fucking years to hit his first viral video. People don't have that grit. They don't really know what
that's a grit.
We're talking about the Clippers and how these new influencers have them and all of that, but I don't want to highlight the now. The reality is this podcast in itself, the focus is to truly drop gems on the how to.
Yeah.
So we should focus on all of the crazy shit these guys had to do when they first got started. All the late nights, the grind, figuring the fuck out, right? So now they're at a spot because they were smart enough. They stuck with it. They have now an audience.
Exactly.
Now they're able to facilitate a lot of these things.
And that's a thing, man. And that's we kind of spoke about it yesterday, right? Like YouTube is the new TV, bro. Like the ability.
My son watches YouTube 24/7.
Bro, we're all dads here. I'm sure all of our kids like are on that, right? We spoke about this the other day. My daughter wants to make YouTube videos. Like, what do you want to do? Well, I want to be a YouTuber. She wants to build Legos and do puzzles on YouTube, bro. Like what? And it's the coolest thing, bro. Because she came to me with the idea. Like, hey, daddy, this is what I want to do. This is what I want it to be like. I don't want to use my real name because I don't want people to know my real name. I want to do voiceovers. I want to do this. Bro, a 6-year-old.
That's crazy.
That's
6
beautiful.
is wild.
Bro, you know what
6
I'm saying?
is wild, bro. My son's 5.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I feel like we're stuck in an era where if you really pay attention, right, us millennials at least, I can say in my household, right?
Yeah.
I still love fucking video games, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't play them as before, right? We're on a different mission. But what I'm trying to get at is, I remember our parents telling us, turn that fucking video game off, man. Like, you're not going to be able to do anything from this and that. Now you're hearing 14-year-olds making millions of dollars because they won some sort of tournament online.
Yeah.
So now, if you're listening to this podcast, this is what you have to take away. If your kid comes to you with such an idea of becoming a YouTuber, don't be so quick on turning them down.
Yes.
Take a moment and listen to what it is that they have to say. I mean, if it's something stupid, of course, put them in their place. But if it's something as nice as building Legos, I'm trying to be behind the camera, voiceover, now that's an idea.
That's an idea.
Bro.
It needs to be nourished.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
That's a way to nourish it. It needs encouragement. You know what I mean? Like, yes,
exactly.
absolutely. You know what I mean? I feel like we definitely do live in a different time. You know, we definitely, it's so funny that you bring up video games. Like when I used to play video games, I used to play video games with my parents back in the day, like on Nintendo 64.
Yes, sir.
James Bond.
Yes,
what's
sir.
it called?
GoldenEye.
Yeah, GoldenEye.
Yes,
bro, me and my stepmom and my dad used to play that, bro. That used to be so much fun back in the day. But you weren't getting paid back then for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now we live in a time where like, yo, people are getting paid to play video games now. And it's actually a profession. It is a career. It is an absolute career, and that's a beautiful thing. I salute anybody who's getting to it. You know what I mean?
It's really unfortunate because the reality is most of the time we only get to see the end product of it, which is already all packaged.
Yeah.
It's already all nice and everything. But as I've told you guys before we even got started with this podcast, the research that goes behind it, the
Insane.
post-production,
Insane.
pre-production, that goes in it is just insane.
Absolutely.
That's why you're seeing these beautiful products that create all this dopamine, and now you're here trying to do the same thing. But once you figure out what the fuck you need to do, then now you're just trying to stop.
Bro, I'm about to do a put on real quick, right? So one thing my daughter loves, Minecraft.
Yeah, same.
Like, she's got me playing this with her. Me and Shorty in the crib with her playing Minecraft. Bro, I don't even know what I'm building. And she's nasty with it, and I'm putting like fucking weak ass houses together, right?
Yeah.
And she just going crazy. Well, let me put y'all on to something. There's a chick on YouTube. My daughter watches her all the time. Her name is Afmal. That's her YouTube tag. I don't know her real name. She's worth, maybe I might get the number wrong, right? But last time I looked, it's like $90 million.
Jesus.
You know what she does, bro? Her homies make Minecraft stories on YouTube with their own characters. YouTube, Minecraft, Roblox, a bunch of different stuff, right? They post them. They go viral. They have their own merch. She was just in the Minecraft movie.
Insane.
Bro, insane. All off of Minecraft. So when my daughter comes to me like, hey, daddy, I want to do YouTube and do this, I understand where it's coming from. This is their generation. Just like us, we sidekicks, we was on game, we was doing all this crazy stuff. And like y'all said, I remember my mom being like, yo, like, that's not going to do anything for you. Like, you need to do this and do that, go to school, all this stuff. That's not necessary anymore.
No.
So when my daughter comes to me with that, like you said, sometimes she comes to me with outrageous ideas, but it's like, it's my job as, I like to say, we're the pioneers of this internet game.
Yeah, no, we are.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we didn't have internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At one point.
Exactly.
And now, we're part of that generation that transition, bro.
Exactly. So we got to guide this youth into the right idea of like how to use this the right way. It's almost a responsibility, if you will.
Absolutely.
No, it's absolutely a responsibility.
But it's all
because it's scary. If you really think about it, back in the day, we weren't like hyper exposed the way we are right now.
No, at all.
So if you are going to support your kid and all of that, for sure, don't take it lightly, and now don't be blasting your kid. I mean, it comes.
Exactly.
It's very difficult. I'm not going to lie, because if you're supporting, of course, there's going to be exposure.
Yeah.
So now you, as a parent, now you have to take the responsibility to make sure you're taking security metrics.
Yeah, but I say
exactly.
You're putting your child in a very dangerous space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I definitely, that's why I see why people do with their children. They do cover their faces and stuff like that nowadays, because of the things that are going on with, like, people are like scamming, and, pulling out credit card information, like doing these things, utilizing people's identity, which is really interesting. I didn't think about that when I was on TikTok trying to, go viral with me and my son. Like we did absolutely. But now I have this mentality. I'm like, okay, I have videos of my son when he was 1 or 2, 3 years old that are just viral. That've got millions of views on TikTok. But now that many people, like, how many people have saved my son's videos?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or have him in some type of database or some type of anything. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Bro, yeah.
So it's like, it's literally, it's funny that we're talking about this. I don't post my son as much anymore. I used to post him all the time. It's very rarely if I post him. And now, even nowadays, I don't even, it's rare just because why? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, it's an interesting space. You know what I'm saying?
And I could understand that, but I think I err on the other side of this. I think no matter what, the exposure is there.
It's there, yeah. No matter what.
I would rather the exposure be on the internet than in real life.
No, 1,000%, right? So that's what we're saying is expose them, support them, but make sure you have property metrics on the back end, because you don't want,
like, kids listing.
Exactly.
I mean, taking control of their, so that way you can list, like, no locations. No make sure in videos, no addresses are being shown and stuff like that. So
those are the measures, dude. Those are the measures I take in my
videos. Facts, bro. Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
No one ever knows. Like, if I'm somewhere, bro, I left a long time ago.
I already left. This was yesterday, bro. Yeah, this was yesterday. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, facts. No, 100%.
And it's really like, because even like I said, my daughter brought me all that information. Right? She even goes, "Daddy, I don't want to read the comments. You take care of the comments. Right. I don't want to hear what anybody has to say about me. I don't want no mean stuff. Like, I don't want to deal with that." Right? And those, as a parent, it's your responsibility to protect your kid at all costs, no matter what the danger is, right?
Yeah.
But those are the measures. If you're going to put your kid in this game,
you
got to understand that is your job. those comments, taking care of that, making sure your kid is happy and doing what they're doing. Because, I mean, you look at the kid, Ryan's World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, he had a whole section in Target.
Yeah, that's
you know
nuts,
what I'm saying,
bro.
Yeah.
Like,
That's nuts.
There's a risk that comes with it.
there's a
is,
risk
right?
that comes with it, right? But it's like at the end of the day, bro, there's a risk with your kid going to school in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know the worlds are different. Yeah.
Not only that, but like there's one of the things that I tell my wife, for example, I'm already done with the whole nightlife situation and all of that, because it's just going to put me not only in a bad situation, it's just going to increase my chances of some bad shit happening.
Yeah, of course.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Therefore, I don't frequent those places.
Absolutely.
Does that mean I can't find some hot girl at a random ass restaurant? No, of course, and I'm going to be exposed to that, but
Absolutely.
it is the situations on where you're putting that person in. You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
And the best part about it is, I think we live in a time where times are, I mean, obviously we already know that times are very different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like if you can set your child up for success and they never have to work a day in their life based off what you've created at a young age, I mean, why the hell not?
And that's kind of what I speak to. The
know?
risk versus reward, right?
Absolutely. But it's all, you know, you also have those people who are like, now you're using your kid for this and this. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody will always have some shit
always
to
have
say.
some shit to say.
Bro,
always,
that's it.
always.
You know what? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, it's 1,000.
Bro, 1,000%. I don't care, bro. Opinions, like you get in moments in your life where you do care about opinions, and I think that's important, right? When you walk into certain rooms, when you're dealing with certain things, you have to care about how you look.
Absolutely.
Right? You have to care about how the outside world perceives you.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, bro, if my kid is 1,000% happy playing with Legos on the internet.
Yep.
And it's got a college fund.
Yeah,
she never
fuck.
has to worry about another dime in
Hell
her
yeah,
life.
bro.
I don't care what you have to say. My kid, this is what my kid wanted to do, and as a parent, I'm going to promote.
I'm all
that.
for it.
There you go.
I'm here with it. As long as
1,000.
she's not in physical danger.
Yeah.
Now here's my bad to cut you
No,
real
you're
quick.
good.
Here's an unpopular opinion real quick for families
it.
and father figures and all of that stuff. Oh my God, babe, how come you don't post us so frequent on the internet? And what is it? We're not meaningful to you? It's like, no, not really. If you've noticed, I really don't post anything but business and creative, because that is, air quotes, my portfolio. Do I have pictures of you guys here and there, and every now and then do I post things? Absolutely. Is it 100% banned? No, not really. But what do you have to say when you hear this whole, oh my God, you don't post us online, you're not meaningful, or we're not meaningful? What do you have to say about that?
Damn, dude.
Your private life is a luxury at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like not everybody, you know, not everybody needs to know everything. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, because you're building, you know, I mean, for the people who are actually building something online, if you're just a consumer and, you know, you're not building anything, you know, you're not trying to like build a brand, you're not trying to build a, you know, then, you know, that's just really,
Yes.
but if you're trying to like really build something, that the focus is on your message. The focus is
There you
on
go.
your purpose. Your focus is on the brand, the product, and what you're trying to convey. That is the goal. That's what I want people to see, and that's what I want people to learn, and that's what I want people to study, and that's what I want people to buy from. You know what I'm saying? Every other outside stuff has nothing to do with that. If you want to get to know me on a personal level, okay, bet, let's, you know, invest in some mentorship or something. Join my community.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But if that's not the case, then, you know, that's my life is my life. Because as a brand or a content creator, you post so much of your life online because that's your job. I don't feel like it's a requirement to post different those things. You know what I mean? If that offends you, then that's a personal problem. You need to look into, you know, go talk to somebody about that.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean? Go talk to somebody about that, because it's not personal. You know what I mean? You know, you shouldn't take that personal.
I think there's just levels to it, bro. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Like you said, it depends on where you're at as a creator, right?
Yeah.
Because not everyone wants to showcase everything, and that's okay. But, bro, relationships are just tricky, because there are some relationships where people are just cool without that, right? And there's some relationships where, you know, they blast them on everything, but both are cool.
Both are fine.
But I think at that point, like, you just have to have that conversation in your relationship and be like, hey, shorty, like, just understand this is where we at. And you got to see if that's acceptable or not. Me personally, there's been moments where I tripped over social media, but there's also moments where I haven't. And it just depends on where I'm at in my life, right?
I think that's very human.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've tripped over IG and social medias and all of that. There was a time where I was all fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I got to do better. You know? But
Exactly, bro. And that's just kind of where it's at, because it's like you said earlier, like, bro, like, I don't want to find out like some of the homies is in her DMs, like trying to get at it, and they know the situation, but that's the risk you run.
I mean, and at the end of the day, and it will expose, I mean, that's probably good, because it'll expose like who your real friends are and who is not. I mean, definitely.
But also, it's like, if I got clout shorty and that's all you're trying to get out of that.
Yeah. Like,
it depends. Like, is it lifey? Is it just like a shorty? Like,
facts.
Like, what's going on?
Facts. No, I 100%. I agree. I think it really depends on who. It depends on you. It depends on what you want to do. Whatever you feel comfortable with. You know what I mean. But for me, it's a brand. I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build a brand. I'm trying to build a business, and that's what. If I'm the owner and I'm the CEO of this business, that is the focus.
Yeah.
If I'm a content creator, I'm building a personal brand on my personal page. People are coming to my page for me and my message, my purpose, my views, my values, my morals, my ability to connect. They're not coming to see somebody else. They come in. They want to see what I'm doing.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not personal. It's not personal. That's why you have your own page.
Yeah.
So you can so people can come see you. You know what I'm saying? So people can come see you. You can build your brand, and then, by all means, you do what you got to do, and it's all good. But it really depends on the situation, the person.
Yeah, bro. Because at the end of the day, if the relationship isn't bringing the money, and shorty, you just got to understand, bro. I got the spam account that I'll post you on that. Like,
yeah.
People who follow that, they'll see you. But if we working with the Nike, they don't want you up there. They're paying for me.
Yeah, facts. So
okay, so there we go. So one of the common questions that I get from a lot of my clients is, Steve, I'm trying to get started with my personal brand, but I also have my business.
Yeah.
Do I post on my business page, or do I start a brand new one?
How
do I separate?
I love this conversation. Good shit.
How do I separate both of them, and how do I get started? Now, T, you've done a phenomenal job building your personal brand. Niko, you're on your fucking way. My advice to them is to separate them. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts.
I think there's a tasteful way to do it. As long as you show representation of this is who I am, I think there's an absolutely tasteful way to do it. But then it also depends on what you're trying to build and who you're trying to work with. Because like I said, if you're working with a Nike, they paying for one image. But I personally would recommend, if you're going to do all that stuff about like your relationships and all that stuff, and like talk personal life, a lot of times it's better to start a new page. It's better to separate the two, because you don't want your personal image and your personal opinions to convolute what's going on with the business side, because that will kill your brand.
Yeah, what I see is a whole lot of back and forth in terms of like, but I also trying to promote my business. It's like, absolutely, but that is going to be the byproduct of you putting in the work from your personal brand, because now you're making people intrigued in who you are. Therefore, they're trying to see what it is that this guy does.
Yeah. Bro, I'm gonna tell you. So I work with Gym Reapers. Everybody knows I'm an athlete with Gym Reapers. Talking to brand managers, team managers, right? I will tell you right now, there is no way faster to destroy a relationship or destroy any type of potential commitment than broadcasting some opinions that don't align.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how much you want to work with a brand. If they see you up there and you acting hella ratchet, twerking, cussing, saying all this stuff that doesn't align with what they're trying to get with, but your content does, I promise you they will not work with you.
Or 1,000. You're talking about your digital footprint, which I actually do want to address the matter of your digital footprint. And maybe we may get some heat right now, but especially for females out there, the more conscious you are about your digital footprint, the better. But T, go ahead. Let me hear your thoughts about the personal brand and business.
So interesting. It's so interesting. I feel like content creators and business owners are the same in a way, but they're not. If I'm a business owner, then I'm trying to build my brand. I need to build my personal brand as much as I can. I need to get people to like, trust, and respect me. Like, trust, and respect me. Let me say this 3 times. Like, trust, and respect me. Heavy on the trust. Second, respect. Third, like. Trust, respect, like. Until I can even think about building another page. Because if you do not have that community that you've had, they're not going to follow you to the other page. You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want. They're not going to follow you. Now, if you're a content creator, you know what I'm saying? You got to understand, yes, you're a representation of somebody else. If you're building your own products, you don't necessarily need a second page because it's coming from you. You know what I'm saying? So your personal brand, you're selling, whether it's a service-based, a lot of people are doing service-based, coaching, mentorships and stuff like that. So there's a lot of service based. But if you are building obviously another brand, or where you're selling a retail product, whether it be a physical product, whether it be clothes, apparel, whatever it is, yeah, you're gonna need two pages. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna need 2 pages, but you got to realize what you're doing on each. You still need to sell the story of how, especially nowadays, no one wants to be sold on social media nowadays. Not a single person wants to be sold. They need relatability. Either they need relatability or they need inspiration. They need to be like, hey, look, I feel you, bro, because that's where I'm at. And now you're here. Especially now in today's era, so many young guys, I salute all the young guys right now because they're showing their transformation. I don't care if even if it's from high school, graduating high school to even being 22. Yeah. They're showing their transformation. And that's what's selling people is like, I was there. I was that high school kid walking around the class and now I'm rich, now I'm doing coaching. And it's not the Ferraris. No. Yeah, the Ferraris are good. You know what I mean? That it shows like, the people are still selling that, but they're showing how they went from here to here, here to here. When I coach people, I talk about when content pillars, I'm like, if you don't have some type of story or some type of transformation that you're trying to create, you're not going to do well. Yeah. You're not going to do well. And it's so funny that we say this because at 35 and being on the internet for damn near 15 years, my transformation I was selling was 15 years ago. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can't really sell that transformation. That was so long ago, bro. You know what I mean? So the kids now, they're just starting on social media, seeing the power. So they have the ability to do that. So it's a very interesting time. A lot has changed. I think, the power in the personal brand, you got to think about my boy Randall Pich at LiveFit. His personal brand, literally 90% of his money that he makes from his clothing brand, LiveFit, is from him. Yeah. It's from him. He even told me, he goes, bro, like 90%. 90% of sales didn't come from his athletes. It didn't come from, because when I was an athlete, I was like, it didn't come from me. It didn't come from the other people that he had. It came from him. You know what I mean? The brand was just a byproduct of him. Yeah. I love Randall. Shout out to Randall Pich if you ever see this. That is my dog. That was like my bro. Like that was my biggest inspiration when I got into fitness. I wanted to be just like Randall Pich. I was like, Randall, bro, like you were the coolest dude. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you're the coolest dude I've ever seen in my life. You got tattoos, you got a dope ride, your style is cool, you got a clothing brand. I want to be like Randall.
But that was him.
I'm selling.
That was him showing up. Yeah. He was showing up as himself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then what was the byproduct? Everybody, yo, what is that shirt? Hey, hold up. How'd you get the Audi? Yep. Right?
Yep. How'd you get the
everybody know the R8, bro?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I remember Randall.
Randall was my
he changed the game.
He changed the game, bro.
He was one of the pillars that absolutely changed the fitness game and the clothing
100%.
Industry.
He needs his flowers.
Let me put you on.
You got your flowers, bro.
He was on my vision board, bro.
Yeah.
Swear to it.
I bet.
On my vision board, bro, because I wanted to be like Randall too, bro.
100%. Yeah, that Randall was the coolest dude. And so like when I got to, it was so funny for all you content creators trying to work with people, trying to like be like a brand ambassador for a brand. I wanted to work with LiveFit for the longest time. I wanted to shoot for them. And it was just like, it was so hard to get, like, it wasn't hard to get a hold of Randall. I reached out to him a couple times. He's like, yeah, bro, we'll get it together. We'll do this. You know what I mean? And it just never happened because he's a busy guy. Yeah. He's a CEO. He's a founder. He has shit he has to do. He's not thinking about me. You know what I mean? Even though as much as I fucking was like, dude, I really want to work with you. You know what I'm saying? Like I really tried. So what I did is for all the young guys, stop talking to the damn CEO, man. The CEO is busy. They're busy. They're not thinking about. That's why they hire people.
That's a drop right there.
Yeah, that's why they hire people to do those things for them. You trying to reach out? Did they get hundreds of messages a day about people like, oh, bro, I think I'd be a good fit. So what I did, I contacted at the time was his photographer. Shout out to my guy Miguel, bro. He's no longer with them, but he's the one that said, hey, we're gonna lock in a shoot. Randall didn't lock in the shoot with me. His photographer did. And that's how I met Randall. And then once I met Randall, we were locked in. That's my dog. You know what I'm saying? So I met my idol at the time, little 22, 21-year-old T. Randall Pich. I met my idol because of his photographer, not because I reached out to Randall. Bro. So if you're a young guy, get on LinkedIn. Hop on LinkedIn. I was about to drop it, bro. Get on LinkedIn. These are very easy searches. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these people that work for these brands, they're not there forever. As the brands grow, so they need a LinkedIn to be able to share their resumes and share what they've done to share with other companies. And LinkedIn is the most professional thing that you can have, especially when you're a business owner or you're a creative. So if you don't have a LinkedIn and you want to do, you're not you're not taking this shit serious.
You're not about business.
Yeah, you're not about business. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where all the business is. And they show I am a creative director for so-and-so. I am a photographer for so-and-so.
That's the hidden gem.
That's the
right
hidden
there,
gem,
bro.
bro. People sleep on that. They sleep on it. They sleep on it, bro.
At the end of the day, you can go on LinkedIn. You can find the CEO. You can find the business. You will find
his whole team.
The CMO.
His whole team.
The COO.
His whole team.
The creative director. The team manager. The content guy.
Yep.
Who's the guy you should be hitting up.
The athlete manager.
The athlete manager is the guy you should be hitting up. That's how you get there, bro. I got on Gym Reapers because of Corey. Like, obviously, my content speaks for itself.
Yep. But Corey's a creative director for Gym.
Corey's
the
my
message,
dude.
the message that we're trying to give out, it's pretty much for two individuals here, right? It's going to be the content creator that enjoys creating Lego on the side, correct? That is not necessarily business driven, but then we're also talking to the business owner itself on how to pull the trigger on doing their own content, okay? So just a quick recap, make sure that if you do have a business page, keep it a business page, but then every now and then in your personal, sprinkle a little bit of that business page in there so you could spark that intrigueness.
I think on your personal page, you should always be talking about your fucking brand.
Absolutely.
Always.
I do agree with that.
Always, because if you don't, you don't love your fucking brand. You know what I'm saying? I can tell how much someone loves their brand, the way they talk about it and the energy that they bring to it.
You should always be driving
traction to your page, especially if you want to be an authoritative figure in the personal branding space. Yeah. And everybody needs a personal brand in 2025 and beyond. Every person watching this, you are a personal brand, whether you fucking like it or not. Every time you step out the fucking door, you are selling yourself. I don't care if you don't like sales. I'm not a salesperson. Yes, you are. Listen to yourself. I don't like sales because of this, and this. You just sold me on why you don't like sales.
Exactly.
You feel me?
He's just dropping them right now.
You feel me? So I'm saying this. So when you have a personal brand, every time you step out the door, you are a representation of yourself, your family, and the people that you associate with. Why not make it the best possible personal brand that you can do? Especially with social media, allows you to voice your opinion, allows you to voice your own aesthetic and the things you like. And that is a beautiful. We live in such a beautiful time, bro. It's an equal playing field. My fault. It's an equal playing field for everybody. There's no one's better than anybody else. Only thing that's better is their drive and their consistency and their ability to adapt to an ever-moving trend of the internet. But most importantly, it's your voice. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to say, when I first started working with brands, it was a supplement company. We spoke about this. We were on the same team at one point.
Yeah.
And bro, I had 2,000 followers.
Yeah.
And they tried to sell me on this brand ambassador game, bro. I don't do brand ambassador.
Yeah, fuck that.
Like, you cutting a check, bro.
Yeah, hell
like,
nah.
you cutting a check. Like, I'm on the team because the brand ambassador, bro, free game. It's a lie, bro. You'll never get on the team.
You'll never
bro.
get a tab.
And they won't cut the check, bro. They'll keep you at 2% for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Get off of that.
This from people who've been, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro. So
that's the game. Don't ever do brand ambassador.
No, don't do that.
Stupid.
No,
Waste of time.
That's dead, bro.
Sorry
that's
to all the companies.
yeah, that's free money for them, bro.
Yeah, it's free bread for them.
Yeah, you're not doing that. But the thing is this, right? I had 2,000 followers, maybe like 2,300, something like that, in that ballpark. And I'm working with this brand, bro. I'm killing sales.
Yeah.
2-3 months, bro. I had 40, 50, 60K in sales.
60K
in sales with 2,000 followers, bro.
Let me reiterate: 2,000 followers.
2,000.
Stop thinking that you need millions of followers, bro.
I was about to say that.
You know what I'm saying? You don't need millions of followers. You need
because it's like this, like you said. T,
I love this topic.
Trust.
Yeah, bro.
And at the bottom line, that's what it is. And I didn't make, bro, any of my content. It wasn't sales pitchy. It wasn't, hey, buy this product. Nothing, bro. I just showed myself using the product in authentic fashion.
Lifestyle.
Because you don't have to sell.
Right.
Why do you think UGC is so popular? You don't have to sell. Just show yourself using the product. When you built your brand, you are the brand. So why would you be the brand ambassador? Why would you be the brand ambassador? Like, you're killing yourself.
Yeah. Like,
you are, how they say, you are the prize.
But I mean, if you take a moment into perspective, it happened to me, right? Yeah. And what I could say is, unfortunately, what happens is you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
Right? So these are some of the lessons that you either you go through and you learn by personal experience, or you could join someone that has gone through all of that bullshit, join their coaching program or some shit like that, and then you don't have to pay the price. And now you're cutting 5 to 6 years of experience that is going to be tailored to you.
100%.
You see what I'm saying?
And you know what's the best part, Steve? We right here giving you free game, so you don't even have to pay for that.
Yeah, facts.
So what you doing? Why you ain't subscribed yet?
Yeah, facts. You need to subscribe.
That's easy. That's easy.
Stop playing.
Because at the end of the day, bro, the best part about this podcast right here, if you are a creator or you're trying to do anything in the social media space, bro, we have all perspectives covered here. Bro, Steve's got some of the biggest clients in the game.
Yeah, big time. You know what I mean? And like really influential people, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But I want to bring it back to what you, Niko, said, the digital footprint.
Yeah.
The reason why you've been able to lock in deals is because you've been mindful about it and the way you show up online. Same thing with you, T. Same thing with me. It has been intentional.
Yeah.
Every single fucking move, while it's not perfect, for damn sure it's been intentional into something better. So for you guys out there, if you like the party life, if you like the ratchetness, the nightlife and all of that stuff, fucking great. Yeah. But learn what brands lean to that. And don't try to pretend to be something that you're truly not. Yeah. Because the internet will bring you out real quick.
No, that's facts, bro. And that's so real. I was going to say something about, I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something about the,
while you think about that, I'm going to jump into this, right? I think the biggest thing is, like you said, Steve, like, be mindful. Be mindful, because at the end of the day, bro, like I said, I don't care about anyone's opinions, right? And that's what allows me to post the content that I want. Like, I only care about how I feel about it. And I'm just happy that I've connected with people that feel the same way about it. But at the same time, I care about the opinion of whoever's giving me the bag.
There you go. There
Whoever's running the bag, I care about that.
Yeah.
So that's why you got close friends, bro. That's why you got the spam account. If you want to post a ratchetness and you know that don't align with some people, put it up there.
To me, when I first came here to the U.S., the schooling system is very different from Costa Rica. And when I got to high school, I found out that there are like little cliques of people that do their own shit. There are the cholos.
Like in the movies.
There's the black people. Straight up.
Straight up, bro.
I remember growing up watching American movies, and then I come here and it's like, well, I don't have the lockers everywhere, but for damn sure it is the exact same shit on the little cliques.
Yeah.
And then now that I'm an adult, I take a step back and we're literally playing the same fucking field.
What on the internet? Isn't that crazy?
Not only that, just real life, bro. Life is a game.
Yeah.
And then until you take a moment and you fucking pick what role you're trying to fulfill.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's when it'll fucking click in your head.
Absolutely.
Right.
You have the option. You could be a creator. You could truly be anything you want as long as your mindset just fucking puts you there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, your mindset has to follow your purpose, your conviction. I think your conviction more so than anything, in anything that you do, you can be confident, you can be this, but if your conviction is not there, your conviction's like discipline. You know what I'm saying? You got to, your conviction, when I say that, is that discipline is doing things you don't want to do. I mean, doing things even though you don't want to do them. Conviction is believing things even though that's, you know, the situation or whatever you're in is not working for you, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So when you have a conviction, you have such a strong belief that no one can shake that. Someone can shake your confidence a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Someone can say something, be like, okay, bet that you know, that shook my confidence. Like, oh, they don't like my haircut. You know what I mean? Like,
have you think about that?
Yeah, have you think about you think about like, oh shit, is there a mirror around? You know what I mean? Let me go check. But your conviction is, fuck, I don't give a fuck what you think about my haircut. What does that mean? I can look like that or whatever. That's your conviction. You feel me? So when you have conviction in anything that you do, you're gonna prosper. But you got to have that belief, because if you don't believe in you, no one else is gonna believe in you either. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I preach to everybody. I'm like, you have to believe in yourself so wholeheartedly, especially in the content space, that you have to give off that persona, like, yes, bro, I am the shit. And I'm the shit. You don't got to say it out loud. That's the thing about energy. You don't have to say, someone can tell me, I can look at someone by the way they walk, or walk into a gym, walk into a room, like, oh, this motherfucker, know he's him. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker, know he him. You know what I'm saying? He don't got to tell me nothing. I'm like, okay, bet. That's something like, I'm attracted to him because I'm like, what do you do? You know, so I could tell by the way you carry yourself, by you look. I'm like, I want to know what you do. You know what I'm saying?
He's got it. Like, he's got it. Like, I can tell he's got it.
Yeah. Anybody can have it.
You can't fake an aura.
Yeah, I hate when people say, like, some people got it, some people don't. That's true, but you can fucking build it. It takes practice. It takes work, just like anything, a relationship. Everybody says a marriage is a 9 to 5. Basically, you know, it's a job. A marriage is a job. So is your relationship with yourself.
Absolutely.
It's a 9 to 5.
Absolutely.
You know, you're only, if you don't work at it, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be that person that people believe in, because it takes work. If you gotta read a fucking book, if you gotta talk to yourself in a fucking mirror, if you gotta fucking, I don't care what you do, you have to put in the work to make yourself get to that level of conviction and belief in yourself that other people believe in you too.
But that's the importance of that, right? That's the importance of creators like you and I. Because at the end of the day, that's what we create. Like Nipsey Hussle.
I love Nip. Shout out, hey, R.I.P. man.
Yeah, for real. But like his mission was to inspire, and I pick up that checker flag. I carry that torch. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the marathon.
Because I really believe in that, and that's why I create what I create and the way I create it. Because at the end of the day, like I want people to be inspired to have that mindset, and that's why we push mindset. Because really, we want everybody to win.
Hell yeah.
And I know how difficult, because I was there. I know how difficult it is sometimes to want to be in front of a camera like right now. Yeah. To speak up for an opportunity, to take advantage of an opportunity, to put yourself in positions. Yeah. But like you said, it's conviction, because you're going to get a million no's. A million people are going to tell you you're not good enough for this.
But okay, while you're on that thought right here, you touched on something that needs importance to address. And is the fact of the confidence of walking to a place and you believing in yourself and all of that positivity that comes with it, right? A lot of people do not experience that. And based on the conversation that we've had in the past, I want to highlight your pops. Shout out to all the pops that are present in the lives of the kids and they're trying to do their thing.
I appreciate that.
Because
so
like realistically, a lot of people don't have father figures in their lives. I want to actually touch on the importance of having your father in the picture, because you said my dad would instill security in me and would tell me all of these things. So touch on that.
I love this. Shout out to my pops, man. That's like and I know he was trying to figure out how to like raise me and be a father at such a young age, but the confidence that my dad instilled in me. I hear these stories about people, parents telling them like, oh, you're not going to be shit. They don't tell you I love you, this and that or the other, which is crazy to me. My dad told me I was the coolest dude to walk this earth. He told me that I was going to be the greatest thing to walk this earth. He said I can do anything I put my mind to. You know what I mean? But more importantly, he showed me what it is to be a good person. He showed me what it to connect and build relationships with people from all walks of life. His charisma was second to none, man. He can make a friend out of anybody, man. It doesn't matter where he is. People just gravitated towards him. I remember being a little kid. This side it's so funny because I look at my son looking at me now. You know what I mean? And I used to watch him at my basketball games and his ability just to connect with people. You know what I'm saying? Just connect, just go shake hands, smile, and people just loved him. You know what I mean? Just because he was just a nice guy. He was just a cool guy, had a big smile on his face. If you see a smile, you'll see it. Yeah, you see my smile. And so people just like connected with him. So I'm forever grateful that he instilled that confidence in me at an early age that literally no one could really. Of course I have my battles with myself, you know what I'm saying? Obviously it's like I'm not always don't get it twisted, I'm not always fucking just like some confident dude, you know what I mean? Like I have my times, but he definitely instilled that core into me, you know what I mean? That like I was God's gift to earth, you know what I mean? But in a way that was very humble. He also taught me how to be humble too. It's weird. It's a weird balance of like you're great, but also, be a good person. You know what I mean? Don't be an asshole. And I think it's so funny because when people see me online, when they meet me in person,
my dog,
everybody, bro, every single person that meets me in person, I thought you were going to be an asshole. I thought you were going to be some cocky ass dude. I thought you were bro, it's so crazy. I'm like, no, bro. Like, just like, I'm a nice fucking guy. Just that I believe in myself. I know that might make you uncomfortable or make people uncomfortable. So it's like, it rubs you the wrong way. But I'm also a good guy, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, it's really, I always tell people too, I say, secure people make insecure people uncomfortable. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. And I'm very secure with myself and who I am and my beliefs and where I want to go. So I love that when people, and I take that to my dad, bro. My dad was just, I love my dad, man.
Your pop was present. He was like on your day to day.
Oh, my parents split up when I was young. And then I moved with my little brother stayed with my mom, and my dad took me, and he took me from in New Jersey, New York, me and my stepmom all the way to Portland. And so my dad, he's been present in my life, and he's been, he loves basketball. Yeah. I mean, loves him some basketball. So he's literally just been drilling sports into me.
That's massive.
And it's been really dope. And it was just like, and then obviously sports led into, I was a point guard. So that led into my leadership skills. He also told me never to follow. That's crazy now we're talking about it. He told me never to follow. And that's like why leaders only is kind of a thing, because my dad always told me to be a leader. He told me never follow the crowd. That's one thing I remembered like very distinctly, is that don't follow, stop following people. Don't follow anybody. Don't follow the crowd. You're your own person, and that's what led into Leaders Only. Because Leaders Only happened when my son was 2 years old, and he was sitting right here, and I was reading a book by John C. Maxwell. It's like the 5 levels of leadership, and that's when Leaders Only formed. When my son was laying right here, and I'm reading this book, and I was like, I want to make a brand for my son, and the lessons, the moral that my dad instilled in me.
I remember those stories, bro.
Yeah, bro, and that's how Leaders Only was formed. And yeah, bro. So
and your son is every bit of that too.
Oh, my son is he's his personality is huge. My son is, bro. I love my son.
And you are present in your kids.
Oh, 100%. My son is my world. He, every day he's always doing different things. You know what I mean? He's a little leader in himself. He has such a big personality. He's such like a lover. He's a lover. Yeah. He is a lover. He will tell you he loves you. If he, even my friends, my day one friends, he tells them, because I tell my bros, I tell everybody I get off the phone with, I don't let no one get off the phone with me and without saying I love you. You know what I mean? Because, tomorrow's never promised. Death is real and random. You know what I mean? So I tell everybody I love them all the time, and my son tells everybody that who's close. If I tell them like, hey, that's your, and it could be my friend. Yeah. That's your uncle. Yeah. That's your tia. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, cause like a lot of my day ones are Latino, and like that's your, so I speak Spanish too, and all that stuff. So like that's your tia. You know what I'm saying? That's he's like. Tells him I love him. He met them like once, bro. Yeah, but he loves them because my son, since he was the day he was born, I've told him every single day, I probably 50 to 100 times, damn near. That's what it seems like. How much I tell him I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Because you can't give love unless you know what love feels like,
bro. There you go. That's the importance of having someone in your corner, especially someone as important as a father figure, right? And I don't know, man. It just kind of sucks because if you really take things into perspective, it's been years now that the male figure has just been attacked. The whole fact of masculinity. Yeah. And sure, there is toxic masculinity and whatnot, but just all the shade that's been thrown to male figures, beat dad and shit like that. And it's like I don't believe that the hardworking man out there just get enough credit for trying to build some shit. Like, listen to what you just said. Your parents divorced, and your dad took it upon himself to take you and move you to another state. You see what I'm saying? And it's not easy.
It's not easy at all. No. And not easy at all. And as you get older, you realize, like, that's why I have so much appreciation to my parents, because I'm like, yo, like, it's hard, bro. There's no manual for this shit. Being a father, there's no fucking manual, bro. You think, you can read all the books, you can watch all the videos, you can study all you want. It don't work like that. You have to beat it. My son had a seizure one time, and I didn't know what the fuck was happening, bro. It scared the shit out of me.
I remember.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So like you got to call the ambulance. I wasn't ready for that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So there's no manual for this shit, bro. So like I applaud every single man who's taking care of their and is present in their child's life. All you deadbeats are fucking weird.
And that's what's crazy. We were talking about this before we started rolling, bro. Yeah. And it's crazy because, bro, my life is opposite. First of all, I grew up in New York, America.
That's what I was born
so,
in New York.
Yeah, bro. East Coast shit. That's what I'm talking about. I'm a kid from the Bronx, and I say that all the time, bro, because that in reality
it's concrete jungle, bro.
Exactly. Everything that I am, I was shaped from that. So my dad wasn't around. My dad was in and out of jail. I had my step pops. Yeah, like I had my step pops, right? So I didn't really learn anything from my dad. My mom was there, obviously, but like we've got a strained relationship. Even growing up, she was doing her thing. She was young, but she had me. I think she was 18. I think she had my sister when she was 16. So she was a young kid trying to figure it out, bro. And like sometimes I got to give her grace for that. Yeah. But we were raising ourselves, bro. I remember summertime. I'm not coming home till 6 a.m.
Jeez.
And I'm a kid, bro. I'm talking junior high. Like I'm out with the homies. Like,
that's wild,
bro. We riding bikes, riding all over the Bronx. And if you don't know, the Bronx is the biggest borough.
Yeah.
So we going crazy. So I'm learning from the streets. That's why I'm pretty rough around the edges.
It was crazy. Just to add on that, just the comparison. I was that kid that literally I didn't skip one day of high school, one class.
That was me,
because my dad was that. My dad, he put the fear in my heart.
Afraid. Yeah. I would be afraid of both of my parents.
But bro, this is the thing, right?
Straight up.
This is the thing, right? School was my bread and butter.
Yeah.
They tried to skip me grades every year from kindergarten to like 6th grade. But I was more trying to go, we used to skateboard, we used to ride bikes, all types of shit, right? So I really learned from the streets.
Right.
Like I really learned, my step pops was a hustler, bro. So that's where I learned my hustle. Like when I'm into something, I'm in, bro. I'm locked in. Like we get tenacious around here, bro. Like I want this, so I learned from him.
Right.
So it's crazy to see the different perspectives and like how we're.
But there you
raised.
go, though, right?
Yeah.
So even though your father was not present, though, there was still a male figure in the picture.
Yeah, but he was same thing in and out of jail too.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, he's a great dude,
Gotcha,
bro.
gotcha.
Like that, I call him my pops. I love that man to death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he taught me, bro. Like we had our own video game store in upstate. We used to go up there all the time. I'm running the store while he got his studio in the back, and they rapping like customers come in, inventory come in. Like I'm running the business in the front.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He doing his thing. He hustling. He doing what he
yeah.
got to do. But he's like, yo, you the oldest. Watch the little ones. Y'all can play games.
Handle that.
Hey, make sure this get done.
Yeah.
We need this all this inventory reorganized. We need this done. Like, hey, make sure you receive like all that stuff, bro. So it's like I learned the hard way, bro. So it's like crazy to see the perspectives and like, bro, love everything that your dad did. Absolutely. And I feel like that's the way to be a father. That's how I am with my kids.
Yeah.
Even the way you are with your son, that's the way I'm with my kids. Like I'm trying to tell you, I love you as much as I can.
It's important.
Yeah.
They gotta feel that shit. It's important. That's how, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, bro. But like I said, bro, I'm from New York, America, bro.
Yeah, that's that.
Like,
Concrete jungle ain't no joke. You're
Life
not from the East
different,
Coast,
bro.
man. You a lot of you West Coast guys, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I moved to the West Coast when I was young. My dad got me out the hood because I was born in Newark, New Jersey. If you know where Newark is, it's not nothing to play with. But so I'm thankful every day. So I'll never claim the hood. So because my dad got me out early, bro. Like I was like 3. You know what I'm saying? 3, 4. He's like no.
We ain't doing that.
You can't.
We ain't doing that.
And I'm glad I did because I know my personality now, and it's so different. And it's so funny because the way my brother was raised and the way I was raised, I'm the outgoing one. I'm the fucking got all the tattoos. My little brother grew up with my mom in the hood, bro. Like in the fucking where you would not think it if you saw my brother. My brother's quiet.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He's not like as outgoing as I am. I'm the one with the social media. I'm the one with all the tattoos. I'm the rebellious one. You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy, and he's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And we grew up I grew up outside in the fucking suburbs. He grew up in the hood, which is very interesting. I didn't put that together until like a couple of years ago. I was like, holy fuck, bro! Like we're completely different people.
But you know that's to speak to that because, bro, real life, I'm kind of like that. Like I'm unless I'm around my peoples, like I'm pretty reserved, bro. Like
yeah, same.
Like, but when I'm with my peoples, I'm a troll. You know what I mean? Like
facts.
I'm really a troll in real life, but I think that just comes with that fight or flight, bro.
Yeah,
you know
100%.
I mean?
I just learned about this. So a lot of people say, what's the word when you're reserved and you don't like to talk?
Introvert.
I'm an introvert. Extrovert. There we go. My bad.
You're good.
And they said I'm typically an introvert with everybody because I just don't open up with people and stuff like that. And some others say I open up to everybody. I don't care. But there's this thing called an ambivert.
Never heard that.
An ambivert is actually a combination of both. So instead of saying I'm a reserved person, I'm an ambivert because only with the right people around you, you're able to open up.
Yeah.
Right.
Outside of that, it's like you're just very reserved. You stay to yourself.
Right. That's funny because I feel like I'm that. I feel like I know people outside look at the bro like you're not an introvert. I'm like, bro, I'm very introverted.
I have no idea.
You have no idea how introverted I am. I don't like going places. I don't like people looking at me. I don't like that. Only reason I don't like attention, but the internet requires attention.
Yep.
So I'm going to do what I need to do to get the attention I need on my business and my product and my brand. Absolutely. But if you catch me anywhere else, if there's big crowds, hoodie.
Yeah,
I'm a turtle,
T
bro.
not outside.
No, bro.
T is not outside.
I just don't like attention. I don't like attention. I don't need to be the center of attention anywhere I go. I don't want to be the center of attention. I want to be that guy in the back looking at the people who want to be the center of attention. So I can be like, oh, do what you do.
Have a great time, bro.
Yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't like attention, but the internet requires attention. You know what I mean? It requires you to be a little edgy. It requires you to get your message out. You know what I mean? You have to do that. So but in real life, it's complete, not the complete opposite. Like I'm definitely was my dad. My dad, he was a very charismatic and so you put me in a room, I go meet some people. You know what I'm saying? I'll definitely shake some hands and get to know people and like that's easy, but I'd rather sit right here with my hoodie on and watch and observe.
So I'm kind of the same way. So for example, if we are in some sort of team setting and we have a goal, which is, hey, let's go measure some cells, let's go shake some hands and that kind of shit, boom, we get it done.
Right.
But if the idea is, hey, some homies let's get together and let's be in this room where a bunch of people that you don't know just to kind of socialize, It's like, I'd rather just socialize with my people.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
facts.
My anxiety not set up that way, bro.
No, 100%.
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
It was
My
funny.
anxiety
I
not set
don't
up that
have
way.
anxiety. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
that's interesting. I always wonder like from the perspective of someone with anxiety. Like I don't think I had. Well, I do because I be biting the shit out of my nails. I think that's a form of anxiety.
Yeah, it definitely is. I'll tell you the truth, bro. Like I'll go to events and stuff. Like I'll be having a good time, and people are like, "Yo, like you good? Like you have a good." Yeah, I'm having a good time, but like you don't understand like the way it is set up right now. Like I'm cool with being here. I love being here, but like there's a lot of people in this room right now.
Do you think, I had a question for you. Do you think the military affected that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So you're always on like, where's the door? Where's the exit?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Cause as a man, that's how I am everywhere I go. Out to dinner, I'm always like, where's the door?
Like hyper.
I gotta sit towards it. Yeah.
I gotta be in front of the door. I gotta see who comes in and out. I don't sit my back to anything because I want to know. I mean, that's just I think that's just.
And I'm not gonna sit here and be like I'm like some operator type of dude, bro. Like I fix planes. I wasn't like.
No, I mean military. Still,
I wasn't beating up bad guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you taught to be prepared. You're taught like awareness.
Absolutely.
Always know what's going on, right? So, bro, I got a plan to get up out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
100%.
And it just is what it is. But yeah, absolutely, 100%. That's where I started forming anxiety.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, bro.
The PTSD for certain people is just like, I feel bad, bro. You know what I mean? I can only imagine like seeing something and not being able to get it out of your mind.
Yeah.
Like,
but it wasn't even that.
Yeah.
So I know.
I guess I'm just speaking like military people that I've talked to in general. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, okay, bet. Like
so there's a point in a young man's life. I think the age is anywhere between like 22 to 26 or something like that. That if you have predisposed mental conditions, which most people do have,
right.
Within that window, if you go through a traumatic experience, it is more likely to trigger those events. Okay. So a lot of people don't realize, but mental health, most of the things you deal with are hereditary. They're passed down.
Oh, I didn't know
that.
It's
just you, most times, or I wouldn't say most, I don't know what the numbers are, so I don't want to speak wrong to it, but it requires a triggering event because you're still mentally developing. It requires a triggering event to happen to really onset that. And I just had my triggering event. And that's just what it was. But that don't cripple me.
Yeah.
It's just something I deal with. I get through it. Go to therapy.
Yeah. So for example, good that you're talking about this, right? Because not a lot of male even open up about going to therapy and talk about your issues because it's like, what the fuck? That's not manly, man. Just suck it the fuck up. That's the perspective out there in the world, right? Oh, you're a man. Just fucking suck it up and don't talk about it, right? I don't like that either. But the fact is, fuck, where was I going with this?
Thought. I hate that shit because you think about the topic in your head.
I know. Backed up. Give me a moment. I'll bring it back for sure.
But I'll say this to Steve.
How's time looking?
We're good.
Okay.
I'll say this to Steve's point, man. Mental health is real. Mental health amongst men is real. Women too, but I don't want to exclude women, but I can't speak for them, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't walk in their shoes.
Right.
But I can tell you, especially in my community, military community, veterans, bro, I've lost a lot of friends to self-harm. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of, some of the most manly men that I've ever met in my life, I've seen them cry. Bro, I've cried.
Oh, but I'm not scared to cry. I don't give a damn what anybody thinks about me.
I just want to say, because we know it's not, it don't got to be spoken, right? This is a vulnerable space.
Yeah.
Bro, you might see us cry here.
Yeah.
It might happen.
Yeah.
But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm going to beat my chest because I know I'm a man. And like whatever you feel about what I do, that's your problem.
Right.
Where I was getting at is, and I remember now, I don't know if it has happened to you guys now that, both of you guys are fathers, leaders, business owners. Me personally, at least, I didn't really quite see any demons manifesting during my 20s, 28-ish. It was just, myself, solo, running by myself and worrying only about myself. But then the moment I had kids, I'm noticing a whole lot of demons from back in the day now manifesting on myself, where I told myself I wasn't going to do some of these things that I've noticed of my parents growing up, but then therefore some reactions I see them manifesting without me even on purpose doing things like that. Have you guys come across something like that now that you guys are older and father figures?
Dude, yeah, bro. There was a point, it was actually like 3-4 years ago where I was like, it was bad, bro. Like I was in a point where, like I was so excited, like, my son, this and that, but I wasn't where I wanted to be in life, and mentally I was like really going through it. And this is what I'm saying, like content creation, like shit is not always fucking great, bro. There's times where money doesn't come in like you thought it would. And in order for you to, and now I had a kid at that time, bro, it got dark. And I'm talking about it got really dark. Like I got to a point where I was drinking like every day, like a bottle of Crown, bro, like a whole bottle, bro. And like I would sit here and look at my son while he's running around, and bro, just like, just because I'm like, bro, like what am I doing, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not that. This is not what I envisioned me being a father right now. Where I'm at, I'm like, I'm not in the right mindset and the right thing to raise a child right
You
now.
realize reality was settling.
Yeah, reality. I'm like, yo,
That's
like, yeah.
tough,
And I'm just like, I'm not mentally like ready.
1,000.
You know what I mean? I'm not mentally ready. I'm not, you know, my finances sometimes wasn't in order. And I have a child, bro. I have a child, bro. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, my biggest why, I think this is why that brought me so much tears was my why when at 21, I said, I never want my child to look outside of his home for a role model. I don't want him to look at, I don't want him to look at LeBron James. I don't want him to look at Jay-Z or an artist or another man, another figure.
Exactly.
And be like, I want to be just like him. I wanted my son to be like, and then not for selfish reasons, but for a reason of I did what the fuck I'm supposed to do.
And I mean, maybe for selfish reasons, man. Like, fuck that.
Yeah,
You know, like,
Facts. That's agree. I agree.
You're
100%.
entitled to that.
Absolutely, because it's my child.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So that was the reason I'm like, I want to be that example for my child, that he never has to look outside of his home for a role model.
Bro, yeah.
And this was 21, bro. This was 21, bro. When I first, because my mentor at the time, I didn't know what a why was. What the fuck is a why? You know what I mean? And I started thinking about it, and that was it. And that's been stuck with me. Ask anybody that I know, that's been stuck with me for fucking years, bro. And in that space where I wasn't fulfilling that. I'm looking at myself like I'm not that role model that I wanted. You know, I wanted to. And that shit, bro, it ate me alive, bro. And every time I would look at him, I would just cry. Because I'm like, bro, I'm not that person for you. But it made me cry. Shit,
Fire, bro.
Fuck, bro.
Hey. Bro, T.
But that shit sucked, bro. Like that shit was rough, bro. It was rough.
These are the battles that us men don't really quite necessarily share with everybody on the back end. And this is just a little window for you, the listener. This is just a little window so you can see of the non-spoken battles that we go through.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, bro.
So, like, if you're out there, if you're a guy, if you feel that you're just not making it, man, you're just building.
Yeah.
Right? You're just building. Shit may get rough. But, I mean, look at us, right? If you're listening, look at us. Maybe you have some other role models on the side. But shit's going to get better.
Absolutely, bro.
It always gets better. It always gets better. This too shall pass is a real thing.
Now, I'm not going to give you all the hope in the world and tell you, like, it's going to get better right away.
Yeah, absolutely not.
That's the thing.
Bro, you got to weather that storm.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, everything you learn in this storm is a lesson that you need for the next level.
Your actions.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Prayer without hustle just does not work.
Exactly.
Prayer, manifest, whatever you believe in, you can manifest and pray all you want. But if you're not applying yourself with the actions, you can't. It's not just gonna just come to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta match the prayer with the hustle. You gotta match the prayer with the conviction. You know what I'm saying? You gotta match the prayer with the you know, the ability to like really take things head on and fail. You're gonna fail a couple of times. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of it. You never fail. Fuck fail. You learn. You're going to learn a lot about yourself along the way. And trust me, I learned from that experience 4 years ago. I learned so much about myself, and I will never go back to that state of mind ever again. Because I know exactly what not to do and who not to be.
I think a lot of people just fall into this idea, right? Like, let's call it the American dream, the white picket fence. Yeah. They fall into this idea of like, at some point, it's going to get perfect.
Yeah. And
everything is going to be perfect. Bro, it's going to be a struggle the whole entire way. You fighting Tyson all 12 rounds,
yeah, bro. All 12 rounds, bro.
Like, it's like there are going to be moments where you have this bliss, but you best believe it's going to fall. And you just got to, what they say? Plan for the best, but expect the worst.
Yeah.
And you got to understand that's going to happen. But if you did it once, you could get up and do it again.
Yep.
And you got to remember that. You got a team around you. You got people around you. You got people looking at you, people looking for you. And, bro, it's a man's job to carry the weight of the world. And sometimes it gets heavy. But, bro, remember to sometimes put that down and focus on yourself, too.
I think Alex Hormozy said it best. He said for most people, it's not about becoming like a winning game. It's become, especially when it comes to like content creation, entrepreneurship, business. It's not what's the word? He said it's about outlasting. Basically, it's about outlasting everybody going, when you're getting beat down, it's about outlast. It's not about whether you can do it or not. It's about whether it's about you can outlast to the point where it's like, yo, I've been beat down so many fucking times and you're still fucking going.
It's so funny that you mentioned this because one of my high-end clients, we had the great opportunity to fly to Montana, and there was a room full of probably about 80 high-end top 1% percent of realtors.
Yeah.
And my client is going through this exercise where he's like, okay, how many of you guys are brand new to the game in real estate? And nearly like almost all the hands go up. And he says, okay, how many have 3 years? And then you see hands going down. Okay, how many do you now see at 5? And only like quarter of the room. And at the end of the whole thing, how many here have a decade under their belt? There was only 3 people out of like 80. So it's just outlasting your competition. T, you've been online for 15 years. I've been content creating since I picked up a camera 7 years now. You, Niko.
I've got like 3-5 years in it. Bro, I'm still fresh.
Yeah.
I'm still fresh.
Beautiful place, bro. It's a beautiful place.
And you know what? It's beautiful that you speak to this. I got a video I recorded yesterday. I'm gonna send it to you. It started out as, you know, I told you I do the video journals. It started out as a video journal, but then I found myself speaking to a crowd, right? And I had just watched this Keith Lee video. He was talking about he went to Turks and Caicos. I don't know. Do you guys know who Keith Lee is?
Yeah, hell yeah. The food reviewer.
Food reviewer, yeah.
The guy on TikTok.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Foodie.
Yeah.
Spiky hair, I think.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the dreads.
The dreads. Yeah.
So he talks about he went to Turks and Caicos. He saw, it was his wife's birthday. They saw this excursion thing that this kid was putting on TikTok or something like that. Long story short, there was confusion with the booking. The kid showed up anyway, hooked him up, gave him an experience he never gives anybody, and didn't charge him, had them just pay the captain, right? While they're on this trip, you know, the kid's asking him like questions about TikTok and stuff. Afterwards, he comes home, he sees the kid's video. The kid talks about a quote that he has tattooed. And the quote is, you don't got to be good to start. You got to start to be good. The kid said he saw this video on TikTok 2 years, I think to the date, prior to this, right? He said, I didn't even realize Keith Lee was a TikToker that I saw do that.
Yeah.
Keith Lee has the same tattoo, right? And that just reminded me of how many risks I took on this road, right?
Right.
And it reminds me that, like, I outstood the game. I outstood all the bad times that I went through. And at the end of the day, I say this in the video, bro, give it a month, give it 2 months, give it 3 months, bro, give it 5 years, give it a year, whatever you want to give it, right? You will not be in the same place where you started.
Hell no.
You will be so much better. The opportunities will be there.
Hell yeah.
I'm not even at the peak of my game.
No, bro. Not even close.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what, like, if you take it into perspective, that's the reality of it, right? The consistency aspect of things, right?
Yeah.
For example, I take my journey for a moment. I was talking to my team the other day. It's like, imagine, guys, I would have given up like 3 years ago.
You guys wouldn't be here.
Like none of this shit would have happened. If I would have just said, fuck learning about the camera and fuck learning about keeping up with social media and all this bullshit work that you got. I'd rather just go to a 9 to 5 because it's just handed to me.
Yeah, bro.
Oof. Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that, bro.
And I'm big on not letting my people give up.
Yeah, same.
Like, I don't care, bro. Like, if I've got to fucking push you and support you to get where you're trying to get, bro, like, that's going to happen. You ain't giving it up for a 9 to 5 if that's not what you want, if that's not who you are. Because I'm not going to sit there and watch you die, bro. You know what I mean? Like, not watch your spirit die, bro.
Right.
And about, again, staying on the consistency topic, for those that don't know, myself, I've been following Leaders Only now for pretty much, I want to say it's inception time. I've been buying shit from T 6 years now or some shit. I've been always tapping in. Never have I ever tried to sell this guy into working with me or like, never. It was always pouring into the relationship, just being supportive, showing love. If I would have given up, I wouldn't be now sitting in the same room with T sponsoring a podcast
Oh, yeah.
with this crowd.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the key takeaway, just the consistency of it and just not letting go of
Building
your why.
relationships. Bro.
Absolutely.
This is what you said is so important. When people build relationships, they expect something instantly. When they try, they're going into it like, oh, I want to exchange. No, bro, no. You're not. This is not a transaction, bro.
Not how it works.
If you go into it looking for a transaction, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen. And then if it does, it's not going to happen again. That's where people fuck up. Okay, you might get that first transaction, but now all you looking is you're not trying to build a relationship with me. You're trying to get something from me.
Exactly.
But if you go into building a genuine relationship, bro, get to know somebody. How's your family? How's your son? You have a daughter? Oh, how old is your daughter?
Yeah.
But don't be fake about it, but genuinely get to know somebody, bro. That's blows my mind, bro. People don't build genuine relationships anymore, bro. Everything's a fucking transaction, and it drives me crazy, bro. Just like you said, it's been what I started leaders only in 2019. Nigga, it's fucking. I can't even say nigga. Can I say nigga on this? It's
our shit, bro.
It's 2025, bro, and we're now linked up,
bro,
working together, bro. You know how long? Bro, that's a long time, and it's just been genuine. Like, hey, bro, you good? I watch you, show love. We good? You hit me up.
Yeah.
Hey, hell yeah, let's run it. When you said, you guys, I was wondering maybe we can, sponsor. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? We already thought that. That was already the conversation.
Hey, before we walked in here the first time,
that's what he said.
We already knew it.
You know what I'm saying? And it works so seamlessly, bro. And now look at us, we're flowing, bro. This conversation that we had today has been excellent,
bro.
It's flowed so smoothly between. Okay, it's flowed so beautifully between all of us. So I'm excited for the future.
At the end of the day, yeah, it's a beautiful thing, bro. We had a great conversation today.
Yes.
I hope everyone feels like fulfilled with the topics because we got a little emotional at certain points, but we still kept the business and
absolutely
dropped some gems for the crowd. But at the end of the day, man, we're doing this for y'all.
Yeah, educate, motivate.
Like, yeah, we get stuff out of that, but like we want the crowd here with us. We want y'all sitting on this couch with us.
We want to build a community of just like-minded individuals who are all just trying to find their way in this crazy world and play this game called life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? This is not this. We hope you guys feel like you guys are right here next to us. You know what I'm saying? That's the conversation that we're creating in the community that we're creating, and I love it.
At the end of the day, if you guys love the topics here, if you have anything you want us to talk about, any questions y'all have, anything, drop them in the comments below. But
drop them in the comments below, and we'll get to them. And we're gonna post on our IG stories of ask questions. So we want to get you guys involved as much as possible. We'll even talk about getting callers on at some point. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But we have a lot in the works, so hit that subscribe button. Thank you for rocking with us.